from digital address GA099334. And this is Joy News at 6 with me, Komla Adom. The news is live here on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra, on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, more than a dozen affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Sky FM in the Bono region and Max FM in the Western region. We're on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. Coming up, it's another day and another huge rise in the country's coronavirus cases, and this time the virus has spread to the entire country, with Ahafo now recording its first case. Some minority MPs say the situation is getting out of hand. We have details also of a new figures that bring Ghana's case count to 10,201. Also, Electoral Commission sets June 30 to start nationwide mass registration exercise for the compilation of a new voters register. The minority says it will find ways to stop this from happening.
There are several other options open to us as a party and as a caucus and as a group.
In business, Securities and Exchange Commission puts filed claims from customers of defunct fund management firms at a little over 10 billion cedis. We hear from the Director General at 6:15.
And how does it feel to live in a community with no electricity?
Because of there is no lights here, we don't have any education.
If we apply for a teacher to come and teach here, they refuse to come.
Children in island communities in the Afram Plains area worry their grades will be affected when school reopens because they are left out from online studies because of lack of electricity. Thank you for joining us. Now, Ghana's coronavirus cases have seen yet another surge, taking the country's positive cases past the 10,000 mark. In the last 24 hours alone, as many as 291 people were infected with the virus in Ghana. There were no new deaths, though, but some minority MPs are raising worrying signals. They say the country would hit 100,000 if plans to re-register voters is carried through. The House yesterday gave green light for the new constitutional instrument backing the EC's plan to compile the new voters register. Making a case against a new CI, member of a subsidiary legislation committee, Magnus Amwati, urged the registration exercise will endanger the health of Ghanaians.
When we had 400 cases of COVID-19, we were locked down. Today, we are 10,000. And we are asking the EC to go and gather Ghanaians, 80 million Ghanaians, to go and line up, queue, and write their names on a new register. I am sure, and I'm not speculating, by the time we finish this registration, God forbid, we'll record over 100,000 positive cases of COVID-19. Let us desist from assembling people.
But the majority leader in Parliament, Osei Mensah-Bonsu, says if the argument is allowed to hold, then the EC will also have no business organizing the December 2020 elections.
If the argument is that 80 million or so people cannot go and queue to register today, 7 December, the same principle will hold. Let them move the motion now that there should not be any election and that the president of this country should continue as the president. Mr. Speaker, you can't understand the rationale in this.
Majority leader in Parliament, Osei Mensah-Bonsu there. Now, the Electoral Commission has announced June 30 to begin the mass registration exercise for the compilation of a new electoral roll. Parliament, through majority decision, gave permission to the EC to use the Ghana card and passport as a source documents for registration. We'll hear from the EC shortly, but the minority in Parliament says they are exploring other options available to them to block the EC from desecrating the country's democracy. Haruna Idrisu is minority leader.
I rather will await the Supreme Court decision on the matter pending before them. But there are several other options open to us as a party and as a caucus and as a group. But what is important is safeguarding Ghana's democracy and ensuring its integrity and ensuring that there is a credible register for the purpose of the 2020 presidential and parliamentary election.
You heard the Minority Leader, Haruna Idrisu. Now, the Electoral Commission, in a statement signed by its Acting Director of Public Affairs, Sylvia Arnott, says safety precautions necessary in ensuring the prevention of a spread of COVID-19 will be adhered to during the process. Nancy Mfajadose said with details of that statement, Nancy.
Now, the Commission says the measures including the provision of personal protective equipment and hand sanitizers, as well as compulsory wearing of face masks by all, have been put in place at designated resignation centers throughout the country to protect applicants from contracting the coronavirus. The communique also reveals that a cluster system of registration will be used for the exercise, adding that all applicants will be notified of the movement plans of the registration team through public announcement.
Thank you very much, Nancy Mefajados. In a related development, the National Identification Authority will from this morning begin nationwide distribution of more than 3 million Ghana cards to applicants. The exercise is to enable the over 11 million Ghanaians use the cards to vouch for their relatives and other Ghanaians who wish to register during the 30th June nationwide mass registration exercise. Joy News will monitor the process and bring you updates in our subsequent bulletins. Meanwhile, over 100 concerned university lecturers are cautioning the EC against the compilation of a new register. In an interview with Joy News, Professor Salah asked the EC to make public detailed explanation of what it seeks to achieve with the new register.
It's totally unnecessary. It's a waste of resources. We used the same register in 2012. We used the same register in 2016. And then the same register, we had our president elected. Americans say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So why this kind of bellicose and belligerent attitude that she wants to do it?
Professor Salah is one of the 100 university lecturers who are asking questions of the Electoral Commission, which is going ahead to compile the new register. Now, Adansia Sokwa MP Katie Hammond is backing a 48-hour ultimatum given to the party by former constituency chairman and some delegates over the party's decision to clear a disqualified candidate, according to a petition cited by Joy News. Katie Hammond's main contender, Samuel Bimfo, was first disqualified by the National Vetting Appeals Committee, a decision upheld by the steering committee. But a later announcement by the General Secretary of the party, John Boydu, stated that Samuel Bimfo has been cleared to contest. Here is the Adansia Sokwa MP in an interview with Joy News.
There are rules in our constitution who can and who cannot contest. Of course, if it is not an oversight and it is a deliberate attempt by somebody, then we'll deal with it. MPP is a party of rule of law, it's not a party of rule of men. So I don't perceive anybody in the MPP who is higher than NEC. So if NEC hasn't taken a decision, I've always said that people who qualify should contest me, but who don't qualify have no right within our constitution to contest.
Adansia Sokwa MP Katie Hammond. Now, residents living in an island community in their Front Plains area say they feel left behind by government intervention to cushion people as the negative impacts of coronavirus kick in. Majority of these communities do not have electricity, and their farming and fishing livelihoods have taken a hit because of restrictions. Joy News' Justice Beidu has just returned from Hihaji, one of the communities in the Front Plains South District, to find out how life in the community without power in these times look like.
As night falls in Hlehaji village, Joyce Agbenyega makes dinner as her daughter, who is home because of COVID-19 school closures, goes over her books. Fuel for both is from pricey kerosene. The community, like many parts of Ghana, has sunshine in abundance and have a huge potential for solar power, but the cost of acquiring them leaves them without a choice.
As we can see at the city or the town, they have electricity, so they watch films, they use internet for learning, but because of there is no lights here, we don't have any education.
Many of the people here have had their livelihoods badly hit by travel restrictions, and now, though they do not have any case of the virus yet, its impact is felt here like everywhere else.
If we apply for a teacher to come and teach here, they refuse to come because of electricity.
Justice Beidu's report, the Arrive Alive tip as the rains continue. Visibility is of utmost importance, especially when ascending or descending a hilly road.